Was kind of expecting some rally today. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but I want to give you guys some updates. What's going on in the fractals and then the other technical indicators, such as RSI and MACD, and also some news came out from GameStop, and then it looks like they post this about like website in 2005, and then Bobby guy, he found a merger. So it sounds like they're kind of hinting that they might announce the merger. And another thing that I want to show you is the when the merger announcement happened, there was a so this is like a naked short battle plan, right? And then when you look at number 6, when you do a merger or spin-off, they'll basically like force short sellers to cover their short positions. So I think something's gonna happen very soon, and I think I'm looking at this as a another the May run, and then heading into the May squeeze. But right now this is really a very 10 times stretched out than May run, right? So it's difficult to to pinpoint when it's gonna start the rally, but I'm gonna show you today when I'm expecting a rally. I think we all already showed this one yesterday, that we already hit all the 3 points, and that's really nice. I posted here. So when you look at this one, this all kind of track the same fractals, similar to this kind of how they bottom it out. They create a gap up and then go first thumping waves, second thump waves, and third thumping waves happen, and then they fill this gap, and then they slowly recover, and then heading into a squeeze. And then as you can see, sometimes some areas are really stretched out. Sometimes there's algos are fast, but most time it's very stretched out. So compared to the last year May run, so it's hard to kind of pinpoint when they're gonna kick off the rally, or announce a merger or some sort of a catalyst event, right? But it sounds like they're gonna announce it on Sunday or Monday, and I'm gonna show you with the fractals here. So this post from GME, when you take a look at this clock here, it says 3 days and 7 hours, and if you add 3 days and 7 hours, that basically give you a Sunday, right? And then what happened on Sunday for Bed Bath Beyond? They announced a Chapter 11. So I think it's possible. And also when you think about when our Rowan Kitty tweets back in May, he tweeted on Sunday as well, right? So I think it's possible we could hear some sort of a news or announcement, or merger announcement, or I don't know, some sort of a catalyst, some sort of events, right? I think that could kick off on Sunday, and then starting a gap up on Monday, right? So there's some sort of a tinfoil, but this is just a tin, right? But you look at the what happened in 2005. Yes, there's a merger happened. So agreement and plan of merger, and this is April 17, 2005. So yeah, it sounds like, and also the Bed Bath Beyond. I know some people, or most people, maybe they don't follow BBBY, but BBBY final hearing got pushed back to April. So it's very interesting how they lined this up. And I don't know if they. I think it's possible maybe they could announce a merger, and then maybe short start to cover their short positions or something. I don't know. Something could kick off. So I have no idea. But the fractal wise, it's about to run too, right? So yeah, let's take a look at. I already showed you bigger picture. So let's take a look at dive into the a slightly tighter version of fractals here. So I just kind of wanted to show you what happened here. So this is last year May 2nd, right? So this is last year May 2nd. This is one last pullback, right? One last pullback. And what happened when you take a look at really closely, because this is it's very you gotta look at very closely, right? You gotta look at all these details. So you see how this thing popped, right? And then it does kind of look like going up, but you see how this candle go down. So what I notice is that they make this type of fractals here, right? Just go up and then slight pullback, right? And that's what you saw. Not let's close this MACD for a second. And when you look at MACD here, sorry, RSI here, after they hit the bottom, this go up, go down. You see? So today we saw some sort of a pop, right, in the morning, right? So so what happened today, and then last few days was we saw this dip here, go up, which happened here, dip, move up, boo, it goes like that, right? So it's like a hook, you know. So it kind of mimicked this fractals. I mean, this one takes about only how many hours is it? Like this started at 11 a.m. May 2nd, and this is 12:20. So that's like, it's like 1 hour they create this, but right now it's taking like fucking like crazy long, right? This is Tuesday, and now it's Thursday, heading into Friday. So it took 2 days to create this the candles, right? The fractals. Whereas it takes 2 hours to create this fractal, which means that it's almost 10 times, right? So anyway, so we saw that happen today. And then yeah, so that's kind of what happened today. I think you go up and go down, and now it's slightly recovered, right? So tomorrow, so what can we expect, right? When are we going to start the rally? I think that's more the thing, like when, right? Everyone's like, that's the most curious, you know, they're just most wondering about, right? When it's gonna kick off, right? When is the rally? When is rally? You know what I mean? I think the rally will kick off Monday. Okay, the reason is that I took a look at I look at bigger picture, right? And I took a look a little more closely. Okay, like I'll show you here. So if we are here, and then to create this candle, it took about what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So tomorrow we might see this candle, right? Like this candle up here, right? So we might go up to $25.38. So how much is that? That's like maybe a 2-3%, right? Like 3%, right? So we might just kind of finish there, right? And Monday, so Sunday or Monday, but I think maybe it's Sunday, they're gonna maybe a gap up here. They're gonna announce something, and then create a gap up, and then start to kick off the rally. That's how I see right now. Because tomorrow is the option expiration day, so I don't really think that they're gonna run this thing tomorrow. You know, that's just my opinion, right? Not financial advice. It could happen tomorrow, but it's really it's very I mean, yeah, it's Fridays. Yeah, usually they either try to push the price down, you know, because they don't want the options to be in the money, right? You know, so but I think still we might see some of upside, you know, based on the fractals, and because that's the next candles that we need to see, right? So now we saw this hook thing, you know, and now we just have to see a pop tomorrow. Not pop, but just maybe slightly, like, you know, 2 to 3%. Finish up on Friday. Announcement happened on Sunday. Monday, create a gap up, kick off the rally. Okay, I think that's kind of very natural way to you know, seeing it, right? And I don't know what the catalyst is. I have no fucking idea. I'm not an insider. I have no fucking idea. But all I'm saying is something's gonna happen on Sunday, and then kick off the Monday rally. Okay, so Monday rally happens. As you see, there's so many candles, but I mean, it's hard to track. Really depends on the speed of algo, right? Sometimes some areas they're extremely fast, such as when you look at this one, for example. A lot of people, some people might have confused this one. So for example, from E, right, from the top to bottom, they basically run this thing so fast that you are so confused. You know what I mean? So this was fast. I mean, you cannot really compare to this the time, right? Because this was like just took about only a few hours, right? But still, when you look at the fractals, this one is like seems like more stretched out than this one, but it was that fast. You know what I mean? So basically, like, so it really depends on the fractals. It depends on the speed of algo, right? So they crush it so hard, and then there's a green candle pop, right? Which what happened here, green candle pop, and then smash it down again, right? Smash it down again, and that's kind of how I saw, right? So it really depends, right? It really depends. So so it was quite very steep bottoming process, like, and then they did pop, come down, finalize the bottom, so it's kind of mimicking the same fractals, but it's just sometimes some area they're extremely fast, sometimes very slow. So you have to consider every day. You have to consider every day. You have to consider how the market makers run the speed, and you have to calculate each candle every day, every fractals, and then you have to combine all those things, and then you have to estimate when you're gonna buy the call options, right? And that's kind of how I always think about it. When is the right time, when is a good time, right? So I'm expecting a March rally. The problem is, let's say we kick off on Monday, right? So kick off Monday, I don't know how the speed of algo is gonna be, right? Like, as you can see, the speed was so fast, you just go like boop, just gotta just go to the sky, right? It's like 90 degree. So if we see that happen, I think it's more likely we could see this Monday, maybe maybe Tuesday, and then maybe slightly cool down, right? So pullbacks, just a little pullback there. So let's say if this kick off on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. Thursday, Friday, usually there's a call the option change. The Friday's option expiration day, so they usually want to pull back, right? They're gonna be some pullback by Friday, another Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I think there might be so if they go like that, same fractals, they're gonna spend some a week or few days to have some pullback, right? To burn some options too, to make people to sell. So it really depends, like, so I think this is Monday, Tuesday, maybe Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So not doing anything. So heading into that week after, right? Which is OPEX week. So really depends, right? So I can't really tell. So and then after that, maybe they can run after OPEX week or something like that. I don't know. But I'm just kind of looking at this in that sense where maybe they want to run this thing before GameStop earning, right? So that's GameStop earning. They pick maybe around this area, 60 to 70 range, which was the last peak, right? Last high. They must retest this area in order to break this resistance level, right? So I think they're gonna retest this level, sharp pullback down, which kind of mimicking this fractals here, and then going to sideways for a bit, creating a large triangle formations, and then breaking out of that triangle formation, heading into a final short squeeze. So yeah, really depending on the speed of algo. So we'll see. Maybe if they announce some sort of a very major catalyst merger, some sort of, I don't know, some sort of announcement, I think it's more likely that we could see the algo speed runs a lot faster. But of course, I don't know. So I'm still expecting by end of March the rally will finish off, right? Because the whole algo is very slow. So that's kind of what I'm expecting right now. So that's just really my honest opinion. Let's look at DJT for a second here. As I mentioned before, DJT is almost at the tip of the final phase before kick off the the rally here. And then I did mention that they're gonna repeat the same cycle as you see here, right? And then that, yeah, like here, they're gonna repeat same area here, and then heading into a squeeze. But before then, it has to pop, right? So I was expecting some sort of a Epstein list coming out, and then maybe the DJT will kind of start to rally. But I took a look at it, and I want to show you what happened today. So this is hold on one second. This is 15 minutes on the right side because the fractal was fast, algo was faster. This time algo was slow, which means that they're accumulating more, and they want to maybe pop even higher. So I actually took a look at this one. So you see how they repeat this cycle where let's just zoom in, and then I want you to look at this part. So I'll just maybe change the color a little bit. It's just too messy right now. I did just kind of, this is just kind of sketch for me, I'm just kind of to draw out some sketches, to, throw out some fractals just to really match with my visions, how I see how this thing will play out. And every day I just kind of check the fractals to see if it's kind of going to the right way. But yes, so as you can see the RSI here, maybe I changed to 2 hour. Yes, 2 hours is better. So yeah, so they drop it here, right? And RSI was all-time low, which was also here. RSI was all-time low, and then they pop, right? Also it did pop, and they have a pullback, right? So that happened here. That also happened here as well, right? There was a sharp pullback. But very interesting thing is when the candles, the price was low here, the price decreased, but then RSI also decreased. But then the thing is, what you have to pay attention is the bottoms. The bottom should go down even lower, but it didn't. You see that? You have to catch this one. The bottoms is higher now, although the candles is going down. This is completely reversed, right? Look at this one. Same thing happened here. The RSI was all-time low here, but it went up, it come down. So the price went down more than this area, but it's going up. What the fuck, right? It's exactly showing a same pattern here, okay? And then after that, it's going up, all right? So it starts to moving up. It started to moving up. There was a pullback. There was a pullback. And I think that's kind of what happened today. So it sounds like they're making this area a little bit longer, right? So let me just, so I think they're gonna repeat this one, this fractals, one more time before heading into a gap up squeeze later. But I think it's gonna happen end of March or April. So DJT will have to wait for a month, I think. But anyway, before then, I'm just doing this as a short-term trading. So where is this? So we are here. Is it here? Yeah, no, actually it's here. Yeah, so it came down here, right? It came down here. Let me just change to 1 hour. So this is actually 15 minute on the right side, surprisingly, right? So which means that the fractal at the time, the speed of algo was faster. Right now it's a lot slower. So that's why the time difference is right there. 15 minutes, this is 1 hour. RSI is kind of showing, it's kind of doing this kind of stuff. So tomorrow I'm expecting nothing really much on DJT until we heading so we actually come down like that. We might go up and down, right? So really nothing much going on. And then and Monday here, maybe that's Monday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So by Wednesday, which is March 5th. I don't know why, but DJT kind of set it up for a pop, right? So if this pops, I'm expecting some sort of a large move, right? Like 30%, 20%, something crazy. And then I think it's going to happen at 8 a.m. The reason I say 8 a.m. is because it happened 8 a.m. too here. And it perfectly matched with, and that's how I think I'm not market makers, but that's what, I mean, there's a tendency, right? There's a tendency where like you see, oh, when you look at when this pop, oh yeah, it happened at 8:30, oh, which means pre-market. And also when you look at this one, when this starts to rally, oh, 9 a.m. okay. And then when you look at other time here, when this happened, oh, 10 a.m. okay, that's in the morning. So you just check all this kind of thing where things pop. You realize that, oh yeah, this happened 7:30, 8 a.m. Yeah, there you go. So there's a lot of times it pop at 8 a.m. right, or 7 a or like anyway, like pre-market, right? So that's kind of how I discover, right? So I know the fact that they're gonna repeat this fractals here one more time, and we're end of it. So we're gonna see this one, but we're gonna see a large move here, in my opinions. And today, so today, where was the DJT stuff here? Oh yeah, today SEC said, breaking news, the SEC will be having a meeting, panel discussion on March 6th. That's very interesting. And it's regarding a retail investor fraud. Isn't that really interesting? So when I saw that date, I was like, wow, that's very interesting. Because as you guys remember, the Devin Newsom, right? The DJT CEO, he mentioned about naked short sellers, right? And then he's like, oh, we're going to expose something that, publics don't really know, right? Or people, I mean, expose something that's like bigger than what we imagine, right? So yeah, it's really something related to naked shorts, right? Yeah, Thursday 6. So and yeah, there you go. So public comments. Public is invited to submit a written statement before March 5th. So there you go. So I think they want to run this thing before SEC meeting. So it's so funny how when I look at this fractals very tightly, and then I check the filings, I check the what's going on, what's coming out, and it's so interesting that this kind of technical analysis actually match with the timing of any announcements or news or something like that. It's very interesting, and you'll be surprised how accurate that is. And there you go. They want to run this thing before the naked short sellers. Before the SEC hearing about the retail investor fraud, right? And something regards to possibly the naked shorts, and they want to cover this before they get into trouble. So yeah, I think it's somehow related to that. And then I think yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna that's how I see in DJT. Let's take a look at AMC just for a second here. I know there's AMC shareholders as well. So as you can see, yeah. It's perfectly mimicking same 2020 fractals here, right? I did mention this multiple times, and maybe many people actually don't like to believe this one because sometimes the truth hurts, right? But it is what it is, right? And then of course I can't really tell if the market maker will change its fractals, but I think they're very lazy, right? They already create the fractals, and then they want to just run the cycle, so they don't want to change it, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, there's so many stocks they have to change, so yeah, maybe they just want to run the algo, right, as it is. I mean, it's effective enough that they can maybe shake off the retail investors. I mean, imagine how they do this, and then they start to tank this down. I mean, it's very difficult, you know what I mean? There's so much volatility there, and then continue to retest this area, and that's very interesting. And once they do this, and we are heading into the 2021 final short squeeze, and that's kind of where we at right now. AMC. So I'm expecting for AMC. Today's pullback after the earning. Yeah, it's just yeah. I just look at this as a what do you call this? Like a fucking like a picture, like I'm a designer, right? So I just look at this as I don't look at this as a candle. I also look at this as a picture, like a graphic image, and it just make perfect sense to me. It's just match this one. So after that, what they're gonna make, what they're gonna create, they're gonna run this thing. But the thing is, like I mentioned before, when you look at the May squeeze, right, for GME and AMC, when GME run in May, right, in early May, not the May 13 gap up squeeze, but when you look at the May rally, early May rally, AMC also had a little bit of a pop. I mean small movement here, positive movement here, but it didn't rally as much as GME, right? I think it's the same thing, because the squeeze phase is in June, and it's really explosive one. I mean, AMC will kind of move together, like go up again, but it's not gonna have a massive run like GME, but when AMC enters into the June area, that's when the final short squeeze events will happen. So I think it's very but I don't know what caused this drop. If Adam Aaron said, because I listened to the call, the earning call, Adam Aaron said there's not gonna be a dilution, right? What caused this fucking drop, right? How are you gonna explain that, right? How are you gonna explain this AMC drop in April, right? And some people say, oh, maybe that's market crash. I mean, market is already crashing, right? What do you expect, right? I think something's gonna happen here, and I actually thought about it to yesterday. If Bed Bath Beyond, right? If Bed Bath Beyond come out in April, maybe they'll use AMC to suppress BBBY, right? And I think maybe it's possible, right? Maybe, who knows? But I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe they just run the fractals here, right? The way they run this fractal, I think maybe that's a possibility, right? So we'll see. For now, as of today, and based on from all these fractals that I show you, it's mimicking the perfect 2020, right? What month is this? Like 2020 October or something? I think it's like November or something. Like, we are like here. Yeah, November 17. Isn't that fucking crazy? So, yeah. So that's AMC. So I mean, AMC is gonna be a little boring, and I don't know what caused AMC drop in April. But my guess is, if AMC it's not gonna dilute, either market maker is just gonna drop it, right? They're just gonna tank it. But that's like a weird, right? But anyway, or BBY come back in April, and then maybe like they use AMC as a collateral to short BBY, and then that causes AMC drop. Who knows, right? I have no idea. And then but yeah, after that we're heading into July squeeze, and then there'll be a giant squeeze. So yeah, I think we'll see how this plays out. But I think I'm planning to buy calls. I'm gonna wait for AMC to buy calls in May, until May. And the interesting thing is there's an earning here in May 2nd, and I think that's when the bottom is gonna happen. And that's what it looks like, right? So of course every day I have to check the fractals, and I'll keep you guys updated how the fractal moves, with AMC. But it seems like next earning is May 2nd, estimate earning, right? So I think that's when the bottom is gonna happen, and then maybe kick off the fucking squeeze. So and let's check out the AMC call options here. 1 second, guys. So AMC, where's AMC? Let's take a look at calls. There's June 20th. Yeah, it's so cheap right now. $27. Yeah, very cheap. But the problem is, like I said, I gotta take a look at what happened in May, and like I said, sometimes they drag this out. So what if they drag this whole thing out to July, right? Then your call options for June will be burned. So you gotta be careful with that. I think September is very safe, but the problem is they didn't open up till $20. Isn't that funny? The market makers knows, right? So we gotta wait. I mean, not we, but I gotta wait until maybe May, and I wanna see if they're gonna open July and August. If I see that, I'll probably buy July, August. I think that's the safe bet, because the market maker can always delay these things. So that's AMC. Bitcoin as a lastly, yeah, it's following very nicely. It's tanking more than I expected, but yeah, there you go. Yeah. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. So yeah, Bitcoin is dropping very nicely. Heading into 81K. A lot of people already kind of, say, oh yeah, Bitcoin going to fucking like 200K. Like I was like, yeah, you guys are crazy, I mean, this is already like, yeah, like there are I mean, a lot of like beginners, I mean, like people who don't see the TA, I mean, of course they don't know, right? So they'll be like, oh yeah, like you're wrong, all that shit, Bitcoin is going to go to the moon, we are heading into the bull market, oh yeah, bull, all this kind of fucking shit. But when you when you look at the reality, because you gotta check the reality, guys, and then the RSI is, like I said, like this doesn't really, this tells you a perfect truth, right? And you cannot really avoid the truth of the bearish divergence, right? And then this happened throughout the history, right? Like, how are we gonna change the history, right? If this happened here, right, as I mentioned, RSI is heading down when the price is moving up. That's kind of fucked up, right? But that's what it is about the crash, right? It's weakening. Same thing happened here. RSI is all-time high, and then pullback happened. But when the price go all-time high, still RSI is lower than this area, which means that it's getting weaker. Now it's crashing. So that's what you saw there, right? Same thing, all-time high in 2021 January, and then pullback happened, and then all-time high in 2021 October, November, right? The price went back up, and then all-time high, but RSI is still lower, right? That's pretty crazy. And then what happened after that? Boom, crash. So there you go. That's the historical pattern, and then how can you deny that, right? It's like that's pretty fucked up, right? So now you guys see that what's going on, and that you cannot change the history, right? That's how this things works. So you have to admit the reality. You have to accept the bearish divergence. This thing never lie, right? Never. Yeah. So, and now this thing pull back down there, which is around here, December 6th area. So let's take a look at what happened December 6th or November 29th, right? So something here. So this blue bars already, purple bars already up there. November 29th. So now you look at this weekly, right? So now you look at a bigger picture. So now you go back and then do a tighter TA, right? So you take a look at what happened November, end of November. So you look at end of November. That's here. So yeah, I think that's kind of where we're seeing. But I think, yeah, and then we might see a recovery, right? And then Bitcoin will even crash even harder, right? So I think that's March. So yeah, I think we might see this kind of play out, right? So we might see a recovery a little bit, 88K, and another sharp pullback by mid-March. So then the Bitcoin heading into a 60K. So yeah, and this is not done yet, guys. This is just the beginning. And then the fractal is very stretched out, right? So Bitcoin will go down to 20K. So but that's kind of how the cycle works, right? And you have to accept the reality how this works, right? So 2017, after 4 years later, the bull run, and then bull run, and then the rinse and repeat, right? This is a market maker's playground. I think the crypto in general, this is like whole, what do you call that? Like, yeah, this is playground for a hedge fund, right? So if they need a liquidity, they pump the liquidity. and then when they have to dump it, they dump it. They just rug pull them, and then yeah, it's fun for them. Yeah, they can create a liquidity. They could leverage out. They could use margin, all that kind of crazy stuff. They could pump the fake liquidity with a huge margin, and then yeah, they just dump it when they need money, and that's when. And right now, that's when they need money, right? The J.P. Morgan also pay what do you call that? The Bed Bath Beyond, the fraud payout. A lot of people already shares that. I may speculate that BBY a fraud payout is going to be very big. I mean, it could be the biggest history of the Wall Street, right? It could be like a couple $100, or even some people think like maybe 400 or 500, but I don't think that's gonna be that much. But I have no idea how much the payout is gonna be. But the interesting thing is the J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon is selling his shares. He didn't sell his shares back in 2007 or 2008 financial crisis, but he's selling now. He already sold 33% or something, so that's huge. He know what's coming. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Doge, I got Doge here. A lot of people are already excited about Doge, crypto, all in general. That's when you gotta be careful. When grandma starts talking about crypto, that's when you gotta be careful, right? You gotta cash out, right? I saw a bunch of a grandfather talks about Bitcoin. That's when the Bitcoin is top, right? So yeah, as I mentioned before, Doge is also, they cannot break this thing here, right? And it's tracking perfectly, very nicely. Today's is not a bull run. I mean, this year is not a bull run. This year is a cleanup operation. So now they're making a huge pennant formation, right? And then they're gonna do this go up and down, and then the real bull cycle is in 2027. So you gotta wait until 2027. You got still 2 years left until you accumulate your money. So and then the reason I know this thing is because this happened here as well. Back in 2017, there was some sort of rally, huge rally, and then pullback happened here. It goes up and down. I create a box here so that you guys can see better. So this is where we at right now. So it happened, boom, boom, boom. This thing happened, but at the time it didn't. It made a small thing like that. But this year they just go like this, right? So it hit this points, like that. Pullback happened until it forming the final wedge, and then bull cycle kicks in, right? And repeat the same thing. There's a huge thing here. They create a huge bull run. Same thing happened. Cannot go up there. Perfectly creating a wedge, heading into 2027, September, October, November, something like that. And then Doge go up to crazy number, maybe up to $20 or something like that. So that's kind of how I see, guys. So that's Doge. So you still got time, right? So XRP, same thing. A lot of people hype about XRP, shit like that. I know it's gonna pump, right? I mean, it already accumulates so much for about 7 years, right? Which what happened here. ABC creating a huge accumulations for 4 or 5 years. Have a bull run. Same thing. ABC, huge accumulation. Start to bring it out, but it doesn't really have that momentum this year. Because of the whole market, but I would say that this might repeat the cycle here. I checked the RSI, all this kind of stuff here, MACD, and then that's how I came to the conclusion is that when you look at this as a weekly, guys, XRP is kind of already made this thing here, or did an all-time high overbought territory. It entered the overbought territory here already, which means that XRP already create this, finish this area, and then the only thing I have left is this final rally phase, and then I think that's expected in 2027. So which means that XRP now have a huge market cap than 2017. So they need more time. Also, right now is not the time to run this thing big time. So that's kind of how I see it. I think XRP, you still have a lot of chances to buy XRP. I think XRP will even go down lower than current price. It will go down to $1.40. In my opinions, there's gonna be a lot of a retest in this area, $1.70, $1.40, something like that. I think when you see that, I think that's the accumulation phase. Heading into 2027, and that's when the real squeeze happened, right? Real rally happened, right? And then that's the second phase, and then XRP hit like $20 or something like that, 25. So yeah, so everything is heading into 2027. That's the bull market right now. It's a bear market for entire cryptos, and then what do you call that, the big tech stocks, except for meme stocks. So hope this helps, guys, and then yeah, I'll see you guys in next updates. Have a good night. Thank you.